and welcome back to my channel. For this episode, we'll be talking about Season 5, Episode 24 of the show Touched by an Angel. For those of you who do not know, this show, Touched by an Angel, was very popular during the late 90s to early 2000s time period. So basically, it's just a show, like a spiritual kind of drama show. Kind of, if you've ever seen a show like Highway to Heaven, kind of that same concept. There's typically some drama, and then you have the main cast. The main cast consists of Monica, the brand new angel who is kind of learning her way. Then you have Tess, who is the more wisdom, older angel. And then you have Andrew, who makes occasional appearances as the angel of death. And he usually only shows up when someone either has died or someone is going to eventually die. He might make an appearance. This episode is called Black Like Monica. Now, I know you're probably wondering, Harper, who is this white woman? Well, let me tell you. This episode begins with Monica meeting Tess, like all episodes do, in some remote place that no one is even at. And sometimes it's random places. This place has some significance to the episode, though, so it'll play out.
What is it?
How many times is he going to ask me to do this? How many times?
What is it?
And leaving something very disturbing with Monica. And you can see Andrew kind of in the background with the victim of what you ask. And that is when Tess, I should say, hands Monica something very, very, very scary. It then cuts to a scene where the community is rehearsing a play. Now, this seems to be like a small town, kind of like country town, small community. And this guy with the tie gets a lesson on wording. I'm assuming he's some type of mayor or the leader, and he's getting a lesson by this lady. I don't know. They're rehearsing for the play. So Monica then shows up. I don't know how she even gets from there to the town, but okay. She shows up, tells the sheriff, who also is in the play, that she wants to report a murder. They keep mentioning some man named Mooney when they finally get there. They keep mentioning him. And they guess that it is the person that has been murdered. They keep asking. I guess he was supposed to be in the place, so they keep asking.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, please tell me that you're the lady from the State Historical Board.
No, I'm sorry. Are you the sheriff?
Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you?
I want to report a murder.
Where's this guy? Where's this guy Mooney? And so eventually, like 5 different people show up to the murder scene, and instead of investigating the situation, they kind of just decide they want to keep it a secret. But the one who comes up with it is the same guy, the clown with the bow tie, who's supposed to be the leader.
Never had a race problem here ever. But you get a bunch of those FBI boys crawling around in the middle of a civil rights parade. Mister, we are done for. It'll be 8.
Comes up with this idea because this town, it would be so negative for this town to have some kind of hate crime. He just wants to avoid that at any means necessary. So this clown suggests that they keep this little secret, kind of like, what's that show called? The movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer. They kind of decide, okay, we're going to keep this a secret. Nobody needs to find out. Without further ado, they end up deciding to cover this up, at least until Rosa Parks comes to town for their little annual Black History celebration. And the Black History celebration also has some connection to their own history of the town. I guess the town was founded and had Underground Railroad, so it has some connection there. So they all end up agreeing, but they see Monica here. We don't know this chick. So they decide they're going to detain her for no legal reason at all. None of this is legal, firstly. You have 2 sheriffs here, 2 cops, and you have a mayor conspiring. And the sheriff or the cop is actually continuing to say, okay, yeah, that's cool. Monica, who's now detained, cool as a cucumber, calm, collected, which is crazy. And she's questioned by each member. And they're talking about kind of, I guess, to make themselves feel better about why she's there and how this is supposed to be an okay situation, and how kind of like, when you get whooping by your parents, this is help you to help. Yeah, that's what they're doing to her, kind of gaslighting her in this situation. So she ends up falling asleep and kind of having a dream. And I guess this is not normal angel behavior to fall asleep, but she falls asleep. And as she closes her eyes, she has like these kind of gray visions of Mooney getting murdered. And she wakes up and she is, you guessed it, black with a horrible, horrible wig. I mean, truly, they didn't even think when they were doing this to have her look like this. And then we get back to the episode. And Monica is outside of her new jail, walking around. I don't know how she got free, but she's walking around in this new black woman's body. It's so weird. She doesn't even look right. It just looks like a bad tan. But she's walking around town and not truly what to expect. She starts asking about Mooney still. No one in this town has even noticed, or the people who at least recognize her at all. Nobody except this one guy. As they're gathering together, they're kind of scared in their boots. At the sheriff's station, they're scared. Oh my goodness, a black woman is asking about Mooney. What are we going to do? And also notice Monica is missing. Coincidental? I don't think so. Monica and Mooney? Come on now. Monica's missing and you have this black woman that's asking about Mooney. It makes no sense. The Three's a company guy. We all know him. He is the only one that seems to be with some common sense. And the black cop is the only one that seems to be concerned about who killed Mooney. Monica ends up going and to this, like, they're getting ready for the parade from Rosa Parks to arrive, and she's standing out like a literal sore thumb. Like, with all the black people in this community, you will be able to recognize that she is literally a fraud. She is literally Rachel Dolezal. Like, come on now. Okay, so Monica ends up just standing there, kind of still like lurking, and finally, the blue shirt guy ends up confronting the sheriff about Monica and asking why she asked about Mooney. We're gonna get caught. And the sheriff just kind of brushes him off like, dude, this is what I've been told. I'm not gonna get caught up with you trying to be cool. So then finally, the Rosa Parks arrives and they do this really cool cheer. But I want you to know this one scene. And you can even see a band in the back, of course, playing. But I want you to look. Her lips aren't even touching the instrument, but okay. Then Monica, in the midst of celebration, screams at the top of her lungs, still asking for Mooney. Mooney, where's Mooney? So the black cop, obviously, the only one that seems to be very scarred from this moment, who is fighting back tears, I think the emotion, just seeing Rosa Parks there and then seeing this whole situation just kind of makes him a little emotional. So Monica, still not understanding, fat mean is greasy, desperately searches for Mooney, still asking while this parade is going on, while Rosa Parks is here. Like, give it a rest. She goes to this rundown, outdated bar and is still asking for him. The white cop, also there, is questioning her, and the bar guy just casually gives some disturbing news that he saw two guys around the time that Mooney went missing. So the two guys are somehow connected to Mooney's murder. The two racist guys then go back to where they killed Mooney and learn that it has been a cover-up. So they're like, wait, what's going on? If somebody was supposed to discover this, was supposed to be big. This was supposed to take away the attention from, the whole Rosa Parks situation, this whole Black history situation. Again, the racists. So instead of being thankful that they didn't get caught, they look for their next victim. And in order to do that, they want to send a message out to, I guess, the community or whatever, that racism still exists. So they try to get who's ever closest. And who do they happen to see? Black Monica, right in the distance. So she starts running, and then she starts pleading, praying to God, please, please, please help me, please help me. And by the time the guys reach her, she is back to white Monica. Then these two idiots are too ignorant to see that it's obviously Monica. There was not even anybody else in this wood area for them to even think couldn't be anybody besides Monica. And so they end up just leaving and tell them that there's somebody out there. Did you see them? They use little choice words. So then Monica,
Please, make me white again.
finally runs back to town to warn the two cops that they're looking for someone to kill. She warns them, but all they see is her. She's escaped. They finally found her. Oh, Monica. So somehow she enters the bus where Rosa is still sitting all by herself. I don't know why. I guess it's supposed to be like an emotional scene. So I get it. So Monica ends up revealing her identity to Rosa and shares about how being Black was a horrible, horrible experience. Tess then shows back up to the bus and gives Monica a piece of her mind. And she tells her, I'm sorry about the situation. It just all got to me or whatnot. And so then Monica tells the two cops that they should confess.
You must confess it to each other and to God. For the color of racism is fear. Will be.
Tells the two cops that they should confess every feeling because the color of racism is fear. And this was very powerful for me. So that's exactly what they do. Monica and the two guys go back to the crime scene and see what they can find. Andrew, the angel of death, shows up and tells them that Mooney had ended up finding out the truth of his own history and how he was the grandchild of the person who discovered the Underground Railroad in their area, and that it wasn't who they thought, a white man that had discovered the Underground Railroad in their area, but a free Black woman who happened to be Moody's either great-grandmother or grandmother. And so all three, the two cops and Monica, storm into the town to reveal the sad news about Mooney during the parade. And this woman keeps trying to keep the charade going. The episode finally ends with the cops revealing the truth at the parade. They get up on stage and tell, not too much, but a little, about the sad truth about Mooney. And Monica ends up dropping off flowers to Mooney, who she hopes to see in heaven. Now, my thoughts on this episode. While this episode can be seen as extremely controversial and extremely, messed up, the whole blackface situation, I do have to say it had a lot of depth that I was not expecting. Now, this was my second time watching this, but I have to say it really, 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 truly was extremely powerful to watch, and it was just super, super real, honestly. Just hearing the two cops at the end kind of get into oh, well, I do feel some type of way unconsciously, those unconscious bias. I do feel some type of way touching a Black man's hand or shaking his hand and thinking about washing my hand next. Those are things that we don't want to think about people. He probably doesn't want to think, but in his back of his mind, sometimes racism still lingers. And it doesn't mean you're inherently a bad person. It just means that it does. And the similar about the black cop feeling some type of way about his own situation can also make him feel not happy or not his behavior not being acceptable. And so I think that Monica being able to kind of play that role was really powerful. While besides the fact of the wig and the makeup being horrible, I think that her being able to kind of show the fear that she had and the anxiety that she had when she became Black, or was able to step into a Black person's shoes, even for the short time that it was, she was able to see some of the things that many Black people still go through to this day. And also, it just is kind of telling how a lot of Black people don't have that option when they're in desperate situations to say, can I change my race? Can I change my identity? And that, I think, is really powerful. How she has the option, and many people don't have that option to change things about themselves, whether it's their race or anything, to get them out of a situation. So overall, I thought this episode was extremely, extremely powerful. It's something you definitely want to watch. And it's just so real in a way that I think today's TV couldn't do because of just controversy and people. It's understandable how this could be deemed as just like horrible, but it's like sometimes you need those perspectives, and for people to finally get in the shoe to see, okay. But then on the other hand, I guess you can say like, oh, well, being black, it isn't like this nasty disease that you just want to be gone. Like there's that side to it as well. So this is a very complex episode that I suggest you watch, think about, and kind of just try to get interested in it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please stay tuned for more, and bye-bye.